So we're gonna do a traditional carbonara, done the right way, but we're gonna hack the recipe and we're gonna put in some wonderful British asparagus and a little squeeze of lemon juice, and oh my Lord, it's really, really good. This is on the specials board today. You've got the pasta, you've got the pancetta, you've got the eggs and parmesan, and we've got the amazing seasonal asparagus. So we're using spaghetti, right? So homemade spaghetti every single day in every single James Italian, organic eggs, semolina, tipo 00. That is going to go into the water in a second. Some people put cream in their carbonara. I want to show you the true Roman way to do it. And it involves, it's very easy, very quick, but it involves a little diligence. So look, here we have the pancetta. Look at that. Incredible pork, affumicata, smoked. So what we want to do is have big chunks of pancetta like this. This goes into a pan and we start to fry this. We want to render out that fat. We've put no oil in that pan at all. We're going to whisk up some egg. We're going to put some parmesan. In Rome, maybe they have pecorino.
Pecorino.
Probably pecorino.
Both.
Or both, which is nice. But if you go into the supermarket now, you can get pecorino or parmesan. And then we'll put this to the side. There's a little tweak because this is not the classic one. We're going to use our asparagus. I'm going to take 3 little sprues like this. I'm going to cut the asparagus almost the same size as the pancetta. And we taste this amazing carbonara in Rome and we think, oh, it's lovely and creamy. So when we go home and make it, we get it nearly right, but we throw a load of cream in it. This is not the real carbonara, okay? It's actually just eggs, cooking water, and a little parmesan or pecorino, or both. So that requires a little skill. So in the pan here, have a look at this. As we start to fry the pancetta, then we can go in with the asparagus in all that lovely smoky fat. Then we want to be overly generous with black pepper. Look how generous I'm being, right? And you want to almost achieve heat, like peppery heat through the pepper. So Andrea, my friend here, he is a proper Italian. Yes. I'm just from Essex. Carbonara, carbone means charcoal, right?
Charcoal, exactly.
So we're not sure if this dish was like a working class dish for like the miners. Some people say that, or some people say that they used so much black pepper that it looked a little bit like charcoal.
Grayish.
There's lots of different stories.
Yeah.
So look, that's lovely. The pasta goes in, beautiful spaghetti, homemade every single day. That only takes a minute and a half to cook. Look at this now, all right? Golden pancetta. Look at the fat dancing and all that pepper. And then the fragrance and the lightness of the asparagus. Now, here is the absolutely imperative moment with a real carbonara. That pan is screaming hot. Those eggs will scramble. We don't want that. So we take the pasta out and we steal some water. See this water? And then we put the pasta in. And the water breaks the cooking and the frying, and it takes away the aggressive heat. We toss the pasta in that beautiful, beautiful fat. And then, when the pan has calmed, then we think about putting the egg in. So you have to be patient, you can't rush it. So we'll get our lovely plate. This is why people use cream. They use cream to cheat. If you let the pan calm down, then you can put in the egg, and you should get a natural cream, a natural shine. Can you see the change of colour? And then you start to add a little parmesan, and that is what you want. Look at it. That's the consistency we want. So you don't need to add cream. You make your own with the starchy cooking water and the natural fat from that beautiful smoked bacon, and then just a little squeeze of lemon juice. Summertime, comfort food, really, really good. And then as it goes away, a nice little long grating of parmesan. Look at the colours, guys. And there you go, lovely people. A beautiful pasta. Carbonara with British asparagus. Absolutely beautiful. That is the special of the day today. And I'll actually put it on for the rest of the week. Get in there and try it. But that, my friends, is a peach of a dish. Hey guys, hope you're well. So I'm on the set of my brand new cookery show. I hope you're gonna love it. It's all about veg, and I wanna give you a couple of recipes that I hope you're gonna love. We need to eat more veg, and we need to start now. I'm gonna give you 2 for the price of one, and we're going to embrace this beautiful vegetable, asparagus. It will naturally pop. That's the tender part, and that's the stringier part. So a lot of this ends up in the bin, so we're going to make soup with this. Pure elegance. And then with this part, we're going to make the most amazing quiche. Beautiful. Come on, look at that. Go on. Time to attack. It was just a matter of time before I dunked it. This is completely wrong, but right, but wrong, but right, but wrong. But right. I really want to share something very classic, very British with you guys, and I want to go big on mushrooms, and that is with the great pasty. It's going to be incredible. They're never perfect, and I kind of like that. The imperfect is perfect. It really is not technical at all. Beautiful. Oh, that, my friends, is beautiful. It smells amazing. Rip it open. Oh, yes. Take a little salad, just get it in there and get amongst it. Oh my Lord, you homemade beauty. I'm telling you, that is delicious. It's just perfect. Some people might think that veggie food can't be indulgent. Well, this one can. Onions, always part of the party, but never the party. So let's do this. Immediately, this will start to flavour the onions to make these tender, tender, tender. It smells absolutely amazing. Almost tuck underneath, in and around the onions. Yes. Come on. Something amazing is going to happen. Oh, look at that. Let's get in there. Oh. Right, let's have a try. Wowzers. It's extraordinary. Super fun to do, really easy, and it looks like a showstopper. Absolutely bloomin' gorgeous. I know that loads of you guys want to get more veggies into your life. This recipe is for you. We're going to make a pie, packed full of the good stuff. 5 of your 5 fruit and veg a day in one dish. Let's get cooking. I want to go to North Africa, Morocco. I want to pick up some of those vibes. The flavour and the colour is ridiculous. We'll just literally brush this over the pastry. Bring it all together like that, like a little rose petal. On the bottom, it'll absorb flavour. On the top, it'll just look incredible and go crisp, crisp, crisp. Look at that! It is so beautiful. That is definitely not a boring pie. Oh, that is insanely delicious. And it's full of the good stuff. What an amazing way to celebrate 5 veg in one dish. This is the way to go. It's summertime, we're going a little bit lighter. So here are the tortellinis here, handmade, and they're absolutely gorgeous. So Andrea here, he is going to cook some off. Tortellini is part of the ravioli family, which is the name for any filled pasta. Today, the filling I'm going to show you is with this. It's incredible. This is white asparagus, and it's a real delicacy. They're really in season for a short amount of time, and we blanch them, we chop them, we toss them with ricotta, which is a lovely light cheese, parmesan, seasoning, and it makes the most delicious sweet filling. And that's the point of any kind of ravioli, right? That it's a little present, a little gift. So let's cook this up. We cook the ravioli for like 3 minutes. The pasta's really soft, it's really silky. It's an egg pasta. And then Andrea has browned off a little butter, then added a little bit more fresh butter so it's light, and then put a little lemon juice in, a little vegetable stock, and then he's going to put some mint in. And this makes the most incredible natural little cream. So you boil it away until it becomes this lovely loose cream, which, just show them now, chef.
Yeah.
Look at this. So there's the tortellini, a little seasoning, and that is basically it done. Really light, so we'll just give that one more little bring up. We'll plate it up here. To serve it, we do two things. First of all, we have these incredible pea shoots grown for us. Look at these, guys. So literally from the peas themselves, they shoot up, and then we snip them, and we wash them. So we have these pea shoots here, and they're properly funky. Look at that. And they actually taste of peas. So you have white asparagus, ricotta, parmesan, then pea shoots, which taste like sweet, like peas. So I'll just put those there. Go on, Andrea. Really simple, really light, perfect for this time of year. Beautiful. We've got a bunch of new pastas on the menu. Long strokes of parmesan, guys. Look at that. And then just a few little pea shoots in and around. Sweet and delicious. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. White asparagus, tortellini with pea shoots and parmesan, mint and lemon sauce. Delicious.
Making up for losing so much time in my world.
I've got me asparagus, and what I wanted to do was like a mixed grill, but instead of it being meat, I wanted to do fish. I've got a couple of scallops here, and to make the scallops cook beautifully and look beautiful, just do a little crisscross. And I've got a lovely squid here that's already been peeled, gutted, and the little feather taken out of it. And then just put your knife in here and open it up like a book. Now, on the inside, let me show you a little trick. Get your knife at an angle and just very gently just score the squid. It helps the sauce or juice stick to it. Put some olive oil in the pan, good couple of tablespoons there. Now, you don't have to do this, but if you've ever got any herbs in the garden, rosemary's great, oregano's great. That'll flavour the oil straight away. Salt, bit of pepper, sea bass, skin side down. And then the red mullet can go next. We're talking about 3 minutes start to finish here. The old legs, straight in there. We can get rid of this oregano now. Scallops go in, scored side down. Get the old squid scored side down. So at this point in the game, we can get our lovely asparagus. This has been washed already, so there's a little bit of moisture in there. Just sort of just try and toss them around in that oil a little bit. So let's have a look what's going on. Just very gently turn the fish over. Look at that colour. Beautiful. So literally all we need is another 40 seconds on there. Turn over that sea bass. Legs can go on top of the fish because you don't want to overcook it. Yeah, let's put the scallops on here as well. Don't want to overcook the scallops. Fish needs a bit more. Squid can go on here as well. I'm going to put that back on. What I want to do now is over here, get some nice fennel and then some thyme. Give it a nice little shake up. Now, while that's doing that, chilli, get it sliced up. Half the chilli can go in. That's it, done. All I've got to do is plate it up. The skin's crispy, beautiful bit of mullet. Have a scallop. A few of those legs. The pan's been off the heat for about 30 seconds. Just squeeze some lemon juice in here. Just give it a little shake, and that mixes up with the oil straight away. It's almost like dressed in a salad. So at this point, I can put a nice wodge of these fantastic asparagus over there. Now, this squid, just cut it into little strips. Put some of that on. And then all I do now is just that little bit of natural juice on the bottom of the pan, just pour around the fish. And just to finish it, some nice fennel. There you go. The most beautiful asparagus and fish mixed grill. Sometimes you want to pull out all the stops to impress, but that doesn't mean cooking has to be stressful. People often presume that to have a restaurant quality meal, you've got to put hours and hours of work in, and it's not the case. I've been working on the most delicious recipe. This is a midweek meal that is so fresh and delicious, and it looks amazing. It's a 10-minute meal, and it's a lovely piece of cod. I've got lovely seasonal asparagus, and we're making an amazing version of a Hollandaise, and it's embracing the much-loved avocado. This is a Hollandaise like you've never seen before. Really easy, no splitting. And when you see it all together, I think you're gonna love it. And it's healthy as well, full of colour. So first up, normally with a classic Hollandaise, you'd have vinegar or lemon juice, and you would kind of fragrance that with herbs, black peppercorns and stuff like that. So I'm gonna kind of go down that alley, right? I'm gonna take spring onions instead of shallots, and I'll just take the green part and just slice that up like that and put that into a pan. I'm then gonna add the juice of half a lemon straight into there and a little swig of white wine vinegar. So that's gonna give you the tang and acidity that works so well with fish. So lemon juice goes in, catch any pips, like that. A pinch of black pepper. I'll take a little salt as well. And then I'm gonna add a little kiss of water, about 100 millilitres, and we're just gonna let that infuse. So that'll come up to the boil. We don't need any more time than that. Let's just talk about the Hollandaise. It's a classic French sauce. It's a fundamental sauce. And it's golden, it's silky, it's delicious, and it's all about emulsifying egg yolks with fat, butter. It can split when you're making it, if you're not really careful, and it can split when you keep it warm, when you're doing your dinner parties. So I'm gonna take all of that away. Please do not stress. Now, normally, when you do a Hollandaise, what you would do is get your egg yolks and beat it and whisk it over a bain-marie, which is a little pot of boiling water, and then add your clarified butter, okay, along with this, right? I'm gonna simplify it much, much more. So I'm gonna take the egg, and the egg yolk I'll put straight into this little liquidizer. At the same time, I'm gonna take our source of fat. We're not using butter, we're gonna use avocado, a nice, ripe avocado. So simply get a knife, cut it very carefully down to the stone, and then just click it out like that. You can give it a little tap with a knife, stone comes out, and take that beautiful, vivid green avocado out, and that goes in. And actually, the texture and fibre in the avocado really stabilises the whole thing. It takes the risk out. The herb, I'm gonna keep, pretty classic with some lovely tarragon. Now, the truth is, you can have fun with this. If you wanted to do mint or basil or parsley or marjoram, you can. Tarragon has got that aniseed kind of flavour, which is very good with asparagus and fish. 3 or 4 sprigs go in. I'll put that to one side. As soon as that water, lemon and vinegar has come to the boil, we're good to go. We'll go into our blender, very carefully get all those lovely bits of spring onion. Try and use a nice white wine vinegar. It does really make a difference. So no more whisking, right? No more vulnerability, no more possibility of splitting. And although I'll be banned from France for life for doing this recipe, it is a really clean, beautiful, silky, elegant sauce. Look at that colour. Vivid green, silky smooth. So give it a nice little wazz up, and that's it. That's the sauce done. Look at this, guys. This would be the bit where normally you're worried about splitting it. It's delicious. Really, really good. I'll adjust the seasoning, very important, and I'll put just a little extra boiling water in this just to adjust the consistency to your liking. So I'll just buzz this up just to make it a little bit lighter. The colour is just amazing. Look at that. The perfume from the tarragon and the tang of the vinegar and the lemon juice is going to be so good with the fish. Now you can serve this hot, warm, or even room temperature, okay? So I'm going to keep it just warm for the moment. So that's the first part of the recipe, very simple. The next bit, which is kind of the end of the recipe, we're going to cook the fish and asparagus. So we'll get that on full whack in the same pan, and we're going to steam. So steaming is a beautiful, elegant, very healthy, clean method of cooking, right? And I think it's particularly good with fish. So I'm going to add just a centimetre of water to a pan and bring that to the boil. Now, I'm going to cook some lovely white fish. I've got 2 portions of cod here. Now, you could have pollock, megrim, whatever is sustainable, whatever is local. You can have real fun with this. But what I have to do in this steaming method is cook the asparagus at the same time as the fish. So this is about 4 minutes, right? I reckon that's going to take about 5 minutes. So you can control how quickly your fish cooks by how you choose to cut it. And it's as simple as cut it in half. Now, when I steam that That's 4 minutes. That's gonna cook at the same time as that. And this asparagus is beautiful. It's really nice seasonal veg. What I wanna do is take that woody end off. Now this, don't throw away. This makes the most amazing soup. A stew, fantastic in broths, or you can even compost it. We should all be composting. And this asparagus will now go on the bottom of the pan and become a trivet for putting the fish on top. I want to season the cod with some salt all over. I don't want to do it with pepper because I want it to stay pearly white and clean. So put your fish like that, boom, boom. How beautiful is that? And then lid on top. So we're boiling on the bottom and we're steaming on the top. This is going to be amazing. 4 minutes, that's it, 4 minutes, couple of minutes. Mate, we're doing really well. So let's do kind of what you would call a garnish. Let me just wash my hands and clean my knife. So I'll take these 2 white parts of the base of 2 spring onions, cut them in half, and try and use your best knife skills just to slice them up as thin as you can. Now, a nice little tip here is if you get some iced water, these will all curl up and go extra crunchy. And that will apply to anything crunchy you want to slice up. It could be a radish, it could be a chili, it could be even herbs. Literally just water and a few ice cubes is all you need. And now I just want to pick a few leaves of that tarragon. Tarragon is the main driver of flavour in that sauce. Just sort of helps finish it off really nicely. Give that a little mix. Now, I can't help myself but to put a little bit of chili in there as well. Just a couple of bits of chili, but you can see, look at the colours. Just gorgeous. And guys, that's it. Look how simple this is to plate up, right? Plate, sauce, couple of tablespoons goes on. Just use the back of the spoon just to kind of move it around a little bit. Then the fish comes off, right? It's done. Lid. Look at the lovely chunks of cod. Be delicate with them. And get your lovely asparagus and place this like that on top. And this probably feels more pedantic than I would normally do, but I don't care because I'm kind of excited. Place the fish on top. Some of this lovely spring onion, chili and tarragon, and just whip off the cold water. And we'll just kind of hold that on top like that. And that's it. And even if you do this badly and roughly, it will be beautiful. Really fresh, really healthy, really vivacious. A little kiss of lovely olive oil. And that is a beautiful, beautiful dish. In the middle of the week, come on, darling, want a little bit of lunch? There you go. Oh, what's that? Oh, I've got a nice little avocado Hollandaise. Oh, what you been doing now? Oh, yeah, seconds. Lovely steamed fish and asparagus. Oh, you must have worked so hard. Seconds. Well, minutes. So there we go. I think it's fresh, it's really healthy, and super beautiful. Just look at that. Right, let's get in there. Let's just get the perfect little mouthful. Bit of asparagus, bit of sauce. Let's have a little bit of tarragon. You still get that richness from the avocado. The tang from the lemon juice and the vinegar is so good. And then that method of steaming the fish, look how it just flakes. Look at that, it just literally flakes apart. So delicate. It's a lovely little mouthful. And often when you're steaming fish, it's kind of, you know, possibly bland, but not this. It's full of flavour, full of texture. Classy, really classy. And the 3 things work so well together. Wow, what a dish. One of the most delicious vegetables that I love, that's so quick and easy to cook, is asparagus. And you know what? In times like this, where people are talking about your health, asparagus could be the most delicious way to up your ante. And when they're in season, they're going to be their cheapest, their most nutritious, and their most delicious. So let me share with you some delicious asparagus recipes. But also I've got 3 amazing cooks, my friends, that are gonna give you their favorite asparagus recipes too. So let's do this. I'm gonna take 8 slices of pancetta or thinly sliced smoky bacon, and I'm just gonna simply cut it in half like that. Get those little slices onto a board. Now what's really nice is if you steam or boil asparagus, you kind of get a sweetness and a really lush tenderness. But if you grill them or roast them, you kind of amplify this kind of nuttiness. So lay your bacon out like this, and then if you want to, you can add a little vibe of a herb, right? I'm gonna use some thyme. This is beautiful lemon thyme here. And all you need is 1 little sprig like this, and we'll take just a tiny little bit of thyme, but you could use rosemary, a little leaf of sage. So 1 little tip, you know, when you get your asparagus, give it a wash. And I've already done it, but what you can do is bend the asparagus, and then when it naturally goes click, that's the tender part, joy. And this gets a bit woody. We're gonna wrap these with smoky bacon. We're gonna make like little edible asparagus soldiers that we're gonna dip into softly boiled eggs. This you can make into the most beautiful sauce or soup. So look, I'm gonna crack on just rolling these up, but I wanna now throw to a wonderful young lady, a brilliant cook, and she's gonna give you her most favorite asparagus recipe. You're gonna love it.
Thanks, Jamie. We are here in Argentina at my house with my son Ramon, and we're going to prepare tempura asparagus. Asparagus tempura. So what we're going to do first is to prepare our batter. Over here I have flour and cornstarch. Let's add some cold, but super cold, ice cold water. The important thing here is that you don't need to have a smooth and beautiful batter. You can have some lumps. Yes, that's the whole idea of this very plain and beautiful dish, which is tempura. Un poquito más de agua. Some water, please. Yo te digo. ¿Sabes lo que vas a hacer vos ahora?
Vamos a revolver los dos.
Está muy bien. In the meantime, over here I have some asparagus. Sorry for my English. So we need to take the bottom part of each one of this, doing just like this. ¿Sí? Mira, Ramón, ¿me vas a ayudar a sacarle la parte de abajo haciendo así? Bien. So now let's cover each one of these asparagus with our butter. Todo. Todo. Tuc. Wow.
¿Cuánta cantidad?
Sí, ¿cuánta cantidad? A lot, se dice. A lot. Mira, los pasa. Let's cover these ones.
No lo necesitamos.
No more, no more.
Lo pongo ahí, así no nos molesta.
Perfect.
Así no nos molesta.
Yes, baby.
No.
So let's cover them in the butter.
Se me hace algo en la boca.
Wow. I'm alone. Ramón is on the corner. Mira, Rey. Mira.
Se me hace algo en la boca.
Uy, my mouth is watering.
Se me hace un poquito algo en la boca. ¿Esto es un sueño?
Is this a dream? Wow. Guarda, Rey.
Sí, tengo mucho cuidado, mamá.
So you may be wondering why we are making this cooking over fire.
Oh my God.
Oh my God! And that's because this is our traditional way to cook in Argentina. So, asparagus ready, we're going to prepare a quick tartar sauce. Tártara, mayonesa tártara, ¿sí? So, over there we have mayonnaise. Let's add half a chopped onion. Y vos mezcla. Mix,
¿Eso
mix.
voy yo?
Sí, onion. Let's add some capers, alcaparras. Mezclas. Pickled cucumber.
¿Qué es eso?
Pepino en vinagre. Some mustard. Una cucharada de mostaza, gordo. Piqui. Ready?
Amarillo.
Listo. Uy, está buenísima. Probá, a ver.
¿Qué tan se ve?
Dale, probá. Vamos. ¿Cómo se dice cuando when you like something? Cuando te gusta algo, ¿cómo decís vos?
Yummy, yummy forma, yummy.
Some parsley. and some grated egg. Huevo rallado.
Está crudo.
No, está cocido.
Huevo.
Huevo. Guachi.
Hola.
Bueno, we're finished here. Mirá lo que son, Ramón. Our tempura asparagus.
Viendo ahí.
Los estoy poniendo para comer. So, my name is Felicitas Pizarro, and your name is?
Yummy, yummy for my tummy.
No, ¿cómo te llamas?
Yummy for no.
Ramón Solo, ¿no? And we have made tempura asparagus in Argentina over the fire, and we are back to you, Jamie. Vamos a probar, vení. Con la mayonesa, mirá.
Thank you, Felicitas. How good did that look? I definitely want to give that a try. Now look, back to my dish here. We've wrapped these beautiful asparagus sprues in that lovely smoky bacon, okay? So whether you roast that or grill that or do it in a little griddle pan, it's all good, right? But I'm gonna dip them in a perfectly cooked, soft boiled egg. So when it comes to cooking the perfect soft boiled egg, what we need is a few things in our favor that are consistent. So, a few things that a lot of us do is put eggs in the fridge. Don't bother. If it's cold and it goes in boiling water, you're aiding it cracking and wasting, right? So we don't want that. So secondly, we want a timer, not your memory, right? 5.5 minutes will consistently give you a lovely soft boiled egg. 6 minutes, kind of semi-soft boiled egg, and then you can go to 10 minutes for hard boiled, right? Water always boils at 101 degrees. Consistency. Consistency, good. Inside the egg is a tiny proportion of salt, and there's none in that. So a tiny pinch of salt gives you an equilibrium. Again, this aids you not cracking the egg and wasting it. Spoon, take your egg, and you need to dip it once, twice, 3 times, right? You don't want to shock the egg. So 5.5 minutes in boiling water is going to give us the perfect soft-boiled egg, but now that's a perfect time to go to my dear friend Chetna, a fantastic cook, and she's going to give you her asparagus and paneer sabzi. Oh, it's so good.
Thanks, Jamie. I am going to be making a really quick asparagus and paneer sabji, like a stir fry. And paneer is an Indian cheese, and it hasn't got any flavor of its own, so it's great because it absorbs all the spices, the flavors, and it goes really well with this fresh asparagus. Just going to thinly slice 1 large red onion. Nice hot pan, tablespoon or 2 of some rapeseed oil, and just let it heat up. Once it's nice and hot, just in goes the onion. Just going to cook this for 6 to 8 minutes until lightly golden. I'm just going to add 1 thinly sliced tomato. Just a minute. The onion and tomatoes are done nicely. I have got around 400 grams of asparagus here. I'm just literally clicking the tips off, and then I'm just going to chop it up. And then this just goes in. I'm also going to add just a splash of water. That's going to help cook this asparagus up. Mix it up. Then cover and cook this for 4 to 5 minutes. That's it, 5 minutes. And that gives enough time for the asparagus to soften. Oh, look at that. And I'm just going to finish this with some spices. So in goes half a teaspoon or quarter teaspoon salt. Chili powder to your taste. If you want to add a lot more, then go for it. I'm adding around half a teaspoon. And quite key, 1 teaspoon of chaat masala. It's like a tangy spice blend. Beautiful with this dish. And here is our 225 grams of paneer, which is really nice and soft. So I don't need to chop it up. I'm just going to crumble it into this. You can make paneer at home if you can't find it. I have got a recipe on my YouTube channel somewhere. That's it. Just going to cook this for one last minute on high heat. Quick, simple asparagus paneer. And enjoy is nice and warm. It's all cooked to perfection. Just the right amount of spice, but you can still feel that the asparagus is the main hero here. I hope you will try this, and for more recipes you can find them on my channel Food with Chetna.
How good did that paneer and asparagus dish look? Thank you, Chetna. Oh, I've got to do that one. Okay, so look, these eggs are like half cooked. A couple of minutes in, I'm going to put a nice wedge of lovely sourdough bread. Then I'm going to take asparagus like that, put it straight into this griddle pan. So as this asparagus gets crispy and the fat renders out and cooks into that bread, it's a perfect time to go to another amazing cook. Bettina is a dear friend, a great cook, and she's going to show you a really quick preparation to shave wafer thin asparagus, get it into a salad and make it joyful. Bettina, go girl.
Thank you, Jamie. I am so excited to be here, and I'm so excited to show you this fantastic asparagus recipe. This is one of my favorite ways of eating asparagus. We're basically going to shave it down into a salad. We're going to marinate it with some olive oil and lemon juice, and we're going to top it off with this crispy pan grattata, which is a great way of using up your leftover stale bread. Let's get going. So I've got these beautiful asparagus here, and what I'm going to do is, rather than chopping off the end bit, I'm going to hold on to this bit and then I'm going to shave along and add that to the salad, and that way you get the most out of your asparagus tips. And I'm using just a normal vegetable peeler. You just go all the way down as far as you possibly can. So what you're getting are these perfect, beautiful, thin slivers or ribbons. So I'm just going to add some lemon zest, lemon juice, squeeze, there we go. A couple of tablespoons of really good olive oil. We're just going to give the asparagus ribbons a little massage. There we go, just toss them. I've whizzed up some leftover bread that I had, and they're super fine, and we're about to pan fry these. Add some olive oil into a hot pan, and right after that we're going to add our breadcrumbs. Now that we've got our breadcrumbs in the pan, I'm going to grate some garlic and add that in and stir it in so that it mixes really well with the breadcrumbs. Add a pinch of salt, a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of chili for extra kick. If you've got some leftover herbs in your fridge, I've got some thyme here, so I'm going to add some thyme. Now that the breadcrumbs are lovely and brown and crispy, I'm just going to add some lemon zest right at the end. So we've had the asparagus ribbons, they've been marinating for 10-15 minutes. The last thing that we're going to do is add these amazingly tasty breadcrumbs on top of the salad. That is going to make it sing. And also texture, which is super important. Beautiful, look at that. That was literally, it takes no time. It's such a quick salad to do as well, but look how pretty it is. So this is my shaved asparagus salad topped off with garlic fried pan grattata, and it's one of my favorite asparagus recipes, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Bettina Campolucci from Bettina's Kitchen. Over to you, Jamie.
Absolutely delicious, Bettina. Such a nice preparation. And there you go. Thank you, girls. What lovely dishes. Such an honor to be cooking with you virtually. Look how the fat is rendering out. You know, we're just cooking the asparagus. We're not overcooking it. But if you see the little bit of fat here, we can move this to one side and then put the bread to soak up all of that fat. How good will that be? Now, as the alarm goes off, get your family around the table. So what I want to do is just remove this egg here. So These will go here. This lovely bread is soaking up all of the lovely fats here. This toast is sort of half charred, half kind of, you know, fried bread, which is lovely. I'm gonna just cut these into gorgeous little soldiers. Nice sourdough soldiers here. Come and have a look at this. As these lovely asparaguses come off, you know, sizzling. Such a nice way to cook. Look at that. It's just joyful. As a kid, oh, the memories I have of kind of cracking your egg, get that lovely shell off. I must and I love to put a little pinch of salt in there. If I've done my job properly, if the eggs are cooked properly, then I can get this asparagus and plunge it into soft boiled egg. Guys, that is egg paradise. Look at that. Heavenly. So there you go, guys. When asparagus is in season, get out there, get some, have a little cook up. It will be at its cheapest, most nutritious and flavorful. And from me and the girls, lots of love. Good luck, take care. And if you want to see any of their beautiful work, then I'll put the links below. Take care. So I'm gonna make this beautiful tart, asparagus tart. Really nice to make. I've got 500 grams of asparagus and I want to make them fit into here because you don't want them hanging out. Just snap them, just so they fit inside the mould, like that. And then I'm just going to blanch them in boiling salted water for about 2 minutes. So it's a really quick recipe and it literally comes together in around about that time if I pull my finger out. Get them in there. Okay, look at this pastry. It's phyllo pastry. You can get it in every half-decent corner shop, every supermarket. The lovely thing about this is the texture. You get the incredible crunch from it. And it's wafer thin, like that. You know, really, really delicate. So, what I want to do is just melt a quarter of a pack of butter and just do a little bit of wallpapering. And then lay it sort of in and slightly over. Have about an inch hang over the side. And then just basically build up each layer, and you can be quite rough and rustic about it. What we want to do is have mille-feuille, that French word, which means many layers, that lovely, you know, textures, crisp and crunch. I've got 500 grams of potatoes that I've peeled, and I've just cooked them in boiling salted water, just like I was doing mashed potato. And I'm going to do a lovely egg, potato and cheese tart with the asparagus. They're like three best friends that love asparagus: cheese, egg, potato. And you want to work pretty damn quickly with phyllo pastry because it will start to dry and then get fragile and then start snapping, and that's really annoying. The trick to get around that, if you're not a quick worker, is just get a damp cloth like this and just lay it over the top. And then the last couple of layers, just start buttering everything. All the little cracks and crannies. Lovely. So what you'll end up with is sort of a very rustic, rough pastry mould of this lovely phyllo pastry, layered with butter, which will go golden all over, get right around the edges as well. And that's it. Very rustic, very simple, and a really delicious texture. So, over here I've got my asparagus. I don't want to really cook them. Look at the colour of that. Look at the colour of that. Beautiful. So what I'm going to do is just drain this. I've got my potatoes that have been boiling. I've been cooking for about 12 minutes. So, in this bowl, I've got 100 grams of grated cheddar. Just chuck the potatoes in, and then Lancashire cheese is fantastic with asparagus. Really crumbly, fresh, and sometimes you have boiled asparagus with shaved Lancashire cheese over the top. Oh, it's absolutely delicious. So about 100 grams of Lancashire cheese, get that in there, and mash it up. Just sort of mix the cheese into the potato, and then absolutely as if you were doing a mash, you know, you want nice big pinch of pepper, pinch of sea salt, and then a couple of rubs of nutmeg. And then get that mashed in. And then up here I've got half a pint of double cream, and if you can get Jersey cream, then even better, because that's delicious. So we're still in mashed potato world, because some of the posh cooks tend to put a lot of cream and milk in their mashed potatoes and make it really smooth, but I don't want it really smooth. Having a few lumps of potato in there is absolutely fine. Now, got some nice organic eggs. 3 eggs. Straight in. Look at the colour of those yolks. And those 3 eggs, apart from giving it flavour, are just going to be enough to set when you cook this dish. And all you have to do is pour this in, like this. And then with our asparagus, just plop it in, sort of heel to toe, the tip of the asparagus, and then turn it around the other way. And that way everyone gets a fair bite of the dish. So that's pretty damn good. Like that. And then all I would do is get that little melted butter back again and just dab it. Just like that on top. It will stop them drying out and it will make them go lovely and golden. And then if you want, you can get this and just sort of pinch it up just to give it a bit of a kind of rim. And that's it. A beautiful asparagus tart. I want to whack that in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes until golden and beautiful looking. And quite important, put it at the bottom of the oven, and that way it's going to get a nice crust on the bottom and the most fantastic lightly golden top. When it looks good, take it out, let it cool down for 20 minutes. Happy days. Well, there you go. Look at that beautiful little thing. 20 minutes in the oven. You know, you can see it's bubbled up and it's almost gratinated. It's cooled down for about 10 minutes. It's a bit early to cut it, but I can't contain myself. It's quite helpful if you use either a cheesecake mould or a removable bottom. There you go. Slide him. It's always the worrying bit, isn't it? Doesn't matter how long you've been cooking, it's that moment. I mean, this is why I love it. You can see you've got crispness. Just listen to the pastry. Inside it will be smooth and moorish. And then the great thing about cooking the asparagus like this is that the flavour of the asparagus just leaches into the potatoes, the eggs, the cheese, so the flavour goes all the way through. And then, you know, nice salad, some mixed greens, pea shoots in here, because it's that lovely time of year. All I would do to serve it is just let it cool down a bit. I'm being impatient here. Oh, it's such a great thing. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Nice bit of salad. And honestly, once you've had one of those, it will be a little classic that you do. Really pleased with that. Delicious.